to the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Hello and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So I hope everyone had a lovely weekend. I took my usual social media break because let me tell you, you get exhausted following the royals, especially Harry and Meghan. It really becomes emotionally and mentally exhausting. So I took a little bit of a break, but I am back and oh my goodness, do we have a lot to talk about. So sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So I have to be honest with y'all, I don't even know where to start. There's so many stories that have come out. Now, my last video, I broke down as much as I could of the Coult interview because there were so many nuggets in there. And of course, I missed a lot that we're going to go over a little bit of that today. I'm sure you guys have heard a ton about it, but I do have a couple of takeaways that I would like to discuss. And I'm going to say this, and this is 100% based upon my own opinion, but the more and more that I hear and see of Meghan Markle, I am really beginning to believe that Meghan Markle is the most revengeful, spiteful, jealous, and narcissistic person I have ever seen, in my opinion. And I'm being 100% honest. And the problem is that Meghan Markle, her mask is slipping. Her narcissistic mask is slipping, and people definitely are beginning to see the real you, Meghan. That's the problem. You can no longer hide behind the royal family. You cannot hide behind your own family, your father, your sister, your brother. You can no longer hide behind the UK media because this is stuff that is coming out of your own mouth. You sat down for the Coult interview and you said these things. You've had 2 episodes of your podcast and you said these things. So the only person you can blame for the backlash that you are now receiving, which in my opinion is 100% well-deserved, is you, sweetheart. And I'm loving every minute of it. People are not drinking the Sussex Kool-Aid anymore. The mask is finally starting to slip. But again, more and more people are kind of starting to go, that's interesting. So she's been, of course, busted in a few more lies, and forgive me, I can't remember what and where she said it when because there's just been so many things. But I believe it was the Coult interview where she talked about she went to the Lion King premiere and the South African cast member told her that he was a beacon of light because she always has these little flowery, he was just pure light. He said, we rejoiced in the streets of South Africa the same way that we rejoiced when Nelson Mandela was released from prison when you married Prince Harry. Now that, of course, has been 100% debunked. The Daily Mail made it their personal mission, which I absolutely love, to interview every single South African cast member and other cast members of The Lion King. And the 2 cast members both said, nah, it wasn't me. They completely said, we don't know where she got that, but she certainly did not speak to me, and I certainly never said that. Now, a few other people have said that it could have been Pharrell Williams. He said some kind of story to the point of, we were so happy when you married Prince Harry that it's good for us, a good representation of a people of color, and perhaps she mixed that with the South Africa and came up with her own interpretation, right? Her own exaggeration that the people of South Africa danced in the streets celebrating Princess Meghan, just like she said, oh, little girl, see me as a princess. Okay, nobody sees you as a princess, sweetheart, but you know, whatever makes you sleep at night. So that's another porky pie lie, another exaggeration, another made-up story much like the heater story that happened in South Africa. So again, she's pissing off the people of South Africa. Mandela's grandson has definitely outspoken against her, saying there's absolutely no way you could compare Meghan Markle to my grandfather, Nelson Mandela. It's pretty much a disgrace the way that she puts herself up there, just like she thinks she's Princess Diana 2.0. She literally has this grandiose self-view of herself. Look, I'm all about having self-confidence, but she literally has this ideal of herself that, in my personal opinion, I believe she has cult leader tendencies. I really do. I believe she's going to be in the future some kind of cult leader. The cult of Meghan. She's likening herself to be a princess, the incarnate of Princess Diana 2.0, and little Harry actually believes she's his mother incarnate, which is a little disturbing. She's also likening herself to people like Nelson Mandela. She has the no shame factor. Remember, we talked about the woman doesn't embarrass. She has no shame, and she likens herself up to these grandiose delusions, much like a cult leader. I would not be surprised in 10 years from now when she's on her 4th or 5th billionaire husband, she's living on some remote island running some kind of cult, wellness cult, where these celebrities go and pay her thousands upon thousands of dollars to go worship at the cult of Meghan and go to these stupid kumbaya retreats. Because Meghan, as I was talking about, we're building a community. We're building a community. What the hell are you talking about? Building a community. Are you building something out of Archie's Legos? What the hell are you talking about? Have you ever heard anyone who moves to a new neighborhood to make friends and says, we're building a community? You're not an architect, Meghan. You're literally married to an ex-prince and you're living in a mansion. What the hell are you building? You don't even clean your toilet. What are you building? You have no friends, you have no family, but you're building a community. A community of what? Cult followers? People who are going to sign NDAs and worship at your feet? She's bizarre. I'm sorry, that is my opinion, but I kind of think in about 10 years, this woman is going to be so unliked. She's going to be living on some island somewhere doing these cult retreats. That's my opinion. She even says to the interviewer during the cult interview, I said the cult interview, it's the cut. Sorry. She even says during the cut interview, you have very good eye contact. I like the way you're looking. It's like you're looking into my soul. Again, cult leader, just saying. Another thing I really love is how she refers to Harry as her now husband. You know, just so we won't confuse him with her ex-husbands or her future husbands. He's the now husband. He's H, the handyman of Monteshitshow, apparently. I love the way he's little handyman walking in, doing stuff, you know, around the house and helping his multi-millionaire and billionaire neighbors with their sprinkler system. It's like, who believes this? Do you believe in a million years that his millionaire and billionaire neighbors are going to be like, hey, let's get Prince Harry out here to check out that sprinkler system because we didn't know how to fix it? Y'all, they have people for that. They would never in a million years think, let's get an ex-royal prince to go out there and figure out our sprinkler system. Do you think Harry even knows how to screw in a light bulb? Do you think the man has even used all of his 16 bathrooms? Does he even know where all of his 16 bathrooms are? But we're going to believe that H, the handyman of Monteshitshow, the royal puppet master himself, is out there doing handyman work because he has been reduced to the help from his wife, the cult leader. Like, give me a break, okay? I don't believe that for 1 second. Do you think that man has ever unclogged a toilet? Screwed in a light bulb? So Harry and Meghan, y'all, are down with the peasants. They've flown commercial. That's right, Harry and Meghan have flown commercial to the UK. It's like, at this point, you might as well just fly private because flying commercial isn't going to make us like you anymore at this point. Now it's a joke. Now we know you're doing it because you got backlash. The only reason why you're flying commercial, supposedly, is because they said in the papers, there's no pictures of you flying commercial, but apparently your people put out that you flied commercial. Congratulations. Do you want a cookie? Again, I don't believe they flew commercial. And if they did, they only did it because they know they're being called out for their elite hypocrisy of flying private and then lecturing people. Again, it's a little too late. It's like ordering 2 Big Macs, 2 large fries, and a Diet Coke. The Diet Coke isn't going to do anything. You might as well just have the Coke. Just fly private. We don't care anymore. We don't care. We're not going to like you either way. Your mask is already slipped. People know who you are. At this point, no matter what you do, in my opinion, it's not going to help. It's not going to help. And the sad thing is, you know, she's taking pot shots constantly at the royal family with her podcast. Her podcast is literally the alphabet of victimhood. You know, right now she did Diva, and then she did Ambitious. It's like every podcast has a new guest and a new word, a new negative label. Everything in her podcast is so negative. It comes from such a victim narrative. And both of her guests were like they've overcome their past. They're now thriving. They're now living a positive future. When you are a successful, positive person, you do not live in your past. And you do not live in your victimhood. Meghan, did you get that memo? But again, Meghan doesn't have anything. She has no real talent besides marrying well, okay? She has no real talent. So therefore, she's just picking apart the royals, playing a victimhood. The problem is it's 2.5 years later, Meghan, and you're still playing the victim. Nobody forced you to marry him. Nobody forced you to give up your career, and nobody forced you to leave the royal family. That was 100% your choice. And she's really, in my opinion, really trying to stick it to the royals. She's trying to destroy any resemblance of a family that Harry has left. I don't think Harry realizes how destructive and how delusional this woman is. She is burning the bridges, Harry, and she's burning the boats. She is trying to destroy any shred of love and affection that you have to your family. And once you're 100% alone and everyone dislikes you, she's going to dump you for somebody else. She is destroying Harry, in my opinion. And in that article, they made a comment about how, you know, I've lost my father and I don't want you to lose your father. And Harry's like, whatever. I don't care if I lost my father. No big deal. Again, they shed people like trash. They don't care if they don't have any family relations. This woman is burning the bridges and burning the boats. And Harry, I hope you wake up, son, because this woman is destroying your life. In my opinion, you have no friends, you have no country, and you pretty much have no family. All you have is her in that little community, the cult of Meghan, your community. And you're going to wake up one day and she's going to do what she did to Trevor. She's going to Trevor you, son. She's going to Markle you. Mark my words, when you guys get to a point where you're broke and nobody likes you and you're pretty much like 40% there, she's going to dump you. She's not a ride or die chick. She's not going down with the ship. Like I said before, you're literally dancing the jig and arranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, but Meghan already has her future husband. She already has a get out of jail card. She already has her life raft. This woman is literally ruining your family and your future, in my opinion. And it's very sad how you literally dissed your own father, who was there for you guys, even helped you when you left the royal family, and you're like, I don't have a relationship with my dad, it's fine. And the sad part is Thomas Markle apparently spoke out saying, you didn't lose me, Meghan, you dumped me. Big difference. She's acting like her father has passed on. I've lost my dad. It's over. And the poor man had a stroke, is recovering in Mexico, and she can't even send him a text, a phone call, a hand, a visit, nothing. And she's literally acting like, I've lost my dad. You don't have to lose yours too. And he's like, I already did. That is so sad, what this woman has done to Harry and his family. And a lot of people are saying, well, he had a strained relationship before. He was unhappy before. He might have had a strained relationship. He might have been unhappy, but not to the level that you see him now. He has no family. And his grandmother, heaven forbid, let's be honest there, she's 96 years old. Her health is failing. He's now in the UK, but we don't know if he's going to be able to see her. This could be the final time. She's starting to have more and more mobility issues where the Prime Minister, I believe, is going to Scotland for her to usher in the new Prime Minister. It is becoming very, very clear to everyone that Her Majesty has definitely gone downhill with her health and that her time is limited. So the fact that he's over there in the UK and may or may not get to see her is very sad. It's very, very sad. And it's all because of his wife. It is all because of his wife. Harry, the biggest regret I personally think he's going to have is marrying Meghan Markle. Now, I'm not going to blame Meghan for everything because I believe Harry is just now the same as Meghan. He's become Meghan's husband. He's become complicit in allowing this woman to pretty much savage and attack his family. They're both doing it for money. He's writing a tell-all book where he's may or may not trash his family. Meghan has a podcast where she is trashing his family. And the big thing that she dropped in the Cut magazine was, I didn't sign an NDA. They're not silencing me from speaking. You know, I have a journal that when I went to Frogmore Cottage and we were packing up our belongings, I accidentally came across this journal and I forgot that I had it. But you know, I'm going to talk until I can't talk anymore. Do you like that? She literally says that to the author of the magazine. And I'm sure the magazine author is like, what? So Meghan is pretty much threatening and hinting that she's going to be writing a book. And she's going to be slamming the royals once again. And the fact that they did not have her sign an NDA is actually a little shocking. But the fact that she said it, they didn't make me sign an NDA. They didn't silence me. And I have a lot to say until I don't have anything to say anymore. That's a weirdo. And then she talks about this mythical journal that she just happened to come across when she was packing up her belongings at Frogmore. That's a hint. And I'm wondering, does she use this against Harry to keep him in this marriage? I'm beginning to wonder if this is what the power she has over him is, the mythical, journal, or the fact that she's going to write a tell-all book slamming Harry. And I think she's going to wait until they're divorced or they're separating, and then she's going to let it all hang out. But by that point, are people really going to care? Because she's slamming the royal family. She's been doing it for 2.5 years. It's getting old. People are tired of it. So if they divorce in a couple of years, and then she writes this nasty tell-all book, are people really going to care again? Because Meghan the martyr is becoming really old. It's like she never talks anything positive about the family, the future. She never talks about, the person who preaches compassion and kindness and stop bullying people who continually trashes other people. It's like, do you understand what a hypocrite you are? Are people going to keep buying into your victimhood 10 years from now, 5 years from now? You literally have been out of the royal family longer than you were in. So it's kind of like, how many more stories do you got, Meghan? People aren't even talking to you at this point. You have nothing to share since literally 2020. It's very bizarre to me. So we have Harry's memoir that's coming out, but Meghan kind of beat him to the punch. And now she keeps, hitting out at the royal family with this podcast. But the problem is it keeps blowing up in Megsy's face. The podcast is literally her worst enemy. And like I said before, the fact that the royal family is hands off and they're letting Meghan hang herself is actually brilliant because her mask is slipping and the real Meghan is starting to show herself, and people are seeing that she doesn't have a lot to offer. She's very vapid, she's very monotone, she's very one-sided, she's very negative and jealous and petty. If you're a happy person, you should be talking about, oh, we're working on this and we're so excited and here's the kids, but instead she's constantly trashing the royals. They should not have mentioned the royal family at all in that interview. It should have all been about Archetype. It should have been about the kids. It should have been about her future projects. They should not have mentioned the royals or her family at all. But instead, that was the main point of the article. And then her threat to come back to social media and the threat that I didn't sign an NDA. That to me sounds like a very spiteful woman, still has a bone to pick, and who still wants to make money off of trashing the royals. So I'm very interested to see what the reception is going to be in the UK. Now, in my last interview, we did talk about there was a rumor of professional seat fillers. And I'm beginning to believe that there are some professional seat fillers lining the streets. They're bringing their Netflix crew. It's going to be a whole production for that docu-series, you know, the love story, the salt and pepper, the peanut butter and jelly of Harry and Meghan. Again, she's trying really hard to cultivate this mirage of a marriage, this mirage of a love story. We're so sweet. Ugh. Again, it's just like, it's taking too long and there's way too much footage and way too many events that by the time they air this docu-series, they might be divorcing. I mean, I'm trying to be nice about it, but let's be real here. They don't exactly exude happiness, in my opinion, and she keeps, you know, destroying his family. He's going to get to a point, in my opinion, where he might have enough of it. Who knows? But here they are again with their Netflix crew and their professional seat fillers. They're going to film these fake standing ovations for Meghan's little keynote speech, because we all know Meghan is not going to have the same reaction that Prince Harry had at the UN. Oh, no, 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 no. Not the diva. Not Meghan. And I did think it was hilarious when Mariah Carey called her a diva, and Meghan actually was offended and shocked. I'm a diva? What makes you think I'm a diva? Are you kidding, Meghan? Are you kidding? Literally would take me an hour to write down everything that would describe you as a diva. But the one example is, I believe they had a tweet or an Instagram where they called her Meghan Markle, and they had to change it to Meghan the Duchess of Sussex. There's one example of a diva, Meghan. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it was a little bit all over the place, but again, there were just so many things to talk about. It is hard to get it into one video. But what do you guys think of Harry and Meghan flying commercial? Do you think it's going to save face with the public? What do you think is going to happen during her keynote speech? Do you think we're going to see a standing ovation of seat fillers? And what do you think of Meghan Markle and the alphabet of victimhood that she's using on her podcast? Do you think it's going to continue to do well in the ratings? Leave me your comments below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.